camera number 65 of 365, and it's the 1972 Nikkormat EL. Now, unlike the previous Nikkormats or Nikkor mats, this Nikkormat EL requires a battery. It's mechanically and electrically controlled. It does have a mechanical shutter speed of 1/90th of a second that can be used at any time. The camera doesn't actually have a battery, so it shows that the camera works. But to control the aperture priority and get all the other shutter speeds, we need to put a battery in. So let's put a battery in. Well, oh, we can't. There is no battery compartment on the camera. So how do we do that? Well, let's turn the lens. Now let's just take the lens off the camera. To do that, we need to line up aperture f5.6, and then we press our aperture, or lens rather, release lever. Oops, sorry, I moved that lens. That's why we can't get the lens off. There we go. The battery chamber is actually, you have to lift the mirror up with the mirror lift up lever, and very carefully lift up the door, and the battery is actually placed inside the mirror chamber, and I believe there's a drawing, plus to the right, minus to the left. So it's this 6 volt SR44 battery. Just trying to find the polarity. There we go, it's that way. And then place the battery into the chamber there. I don't know whether you can see that. Trying to get to the view. It's down there. And then place the door or floor of the mirror chamber, and then put the mirror down. It really feels very strange to do that. It feels so wrong, but that's the way we put the battery into the camera. So now the camera can be checked for the whether the battery is actually working with this button, and indeed we do get a light, so showing us that the battery is fine. So we've mentioned the lens release and the mirror lock-up. We also have an aperture stop-down lever, and also a self-timer. So let's just... So this is where we have the mechanical, electrically controlled... Oh, it is... There we go. I don't think I've ever used the self-timer on this camera, and I can see why I don't. The self-timer lever does actually have another function. If we press it into the body, it's a meter lock lever, so it means that we can lock our exposure, recompose, and then take our photograph. So it's a memory lock, in other words. So to put the lens back on, it's a 50mm lens. So we have to make sure that we have f5.6, and then we can put our bunny rabbit ears, as they're often known, and then simply turn. And then just doing the turn, we don't have to do the Nikon shuffle. The lens is actually calibrated just with that twist, and there's the indication that the lens is actually calibrated. Turning to the top of the camera, the meter is actually turned on by simply lifting out the film advance, so that in its position is, the meter is now active, and then we wind on our film counter, shutter actuation, and then our film speed dial. If we put it on A, the camera now is an aperture priority camera, so whatever aperture we choose, the camera will respond with the appropriate shutter speed. The shutter speeds go from B through to 1/1000th of a second, and then we set our film with the dial that's around our film rewind. And that's it really, as far as the camera goes. So to put a film through the camera, we have to lift the film rewind, and now we can't do that, as you can see. We have to actually unlock it. There's a lever there, so we have to push it towards us, and then that allows us to unlock. Let's put a film in. So to put our film in, simply put it into the cartridge, feed it through the spool. Oops. Simply, he says. Famous last words, aren't they? Let's just put that in. Okay. And then let's get the sound of the shutter. And then to rewind the film, we simply press the button on the base and then rewind our film in. And so that's it really. That's camera number 65 of 365, the Nikkormat EL.